So you just sit and think,
I
or
do.
is just something comes across your path and you say, well, I'm going to write a story like you did on that one?
I just sit and think about them, or something happens and I'll think, oh, I can write a story about that. You know, it's just different ways. I try not to deal with anything, you know, in my personal life or friends' personal lives, because I don't like to, you know. To me, it's fiction, and I can write enough stories, or I can come up with enough stories without having to use my life. And plus, you know, I'm boring.
You are?
I just sit at home and write. So, so there's nothing that you're going to get off of my story.
No man in your picture?
Not right now, but you know, if you have someone in mind, just go ahead and, you know, pray about it. If you really believe that he's the person God has for me,
send him your way?
Send him my way.
Are you ready for one?
Who knows?
You don't
Who knows? I'm awfully busy.
You're awfully busy. Well, you have to make time if he comes.
Correct. So who?
So you think you can do that?
I don't know.
Well, to our viewing audience, she may or may not want a husband. If you're single out there, you may want to try Vanessa Miller. And I don't know if you'll get a hold of her or not, but you may be her next story.
Maybe my next story. Yes.
So, Vanessa, what else? A playwright? Anything else coming up?
Well, right now I'm working on the third book in the Second Chance at Love series, and it is titled A Promise of Forever Love, and it comes out next year in 2011. So that's what I'm wrapping up this series, and it is a
yesterday, tomorrow, and forever.
And forever. See how that works?
And so keep going. So I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, that particular one is on a lady who has been working in the ministry side by side with her husband. He dies, and then she becomes the pastor of the church, but the church cannot deal with a woman leading them. And so then she also, the story goes on from there. Yes. I don't want to give too much of the story away, but I believe it is going to be
a good one.
Yes, I really think so.
I think so too. Well, now did you ever do children's stories?
No, I've never written children's stories. I really try and stay where I believe I have a voice for a story. And people have asked me about writing children's books or young adult. I don't think I have the voice to write those particular stories. It's not an area where I'm interested, I guess, in writing. So it's not something that pulls me to it. So no.
You know, I'm really thinking in my heart, there's probably a longing desire to have a perfect romance in your life. No, I'm kidding. But these happen to all be romance stories.
That's right. I've got perfect romance stories in my life.
So that could be why you would write these. Again, yesterday's promise is the story of the young woman who, like so many young women, want their father to accept her, to be the next whatever.
Correct.
And to her, it was like a rejection, wasn't it?
Correct.
When the father pulled the fiance instead of her.
Correct. Her father thought he felt like he was hearing from God saying one thing, and Serenity could, I'm sorry, this one is Melinda, and Melinda could not understand how her father could do such a thing to her, because they had always talked about her taking over the ministry. So it was like a rejection.
Oh yeah, because he
for her.
always talked to her about it. He shouldn't have done that.
Well, you know, that's what happened. But it all works out in the end. Isn't that the reason we write romances, or the reason we read romances? Because we want it to work out in the end.
Yes, yes. Well, I know that people are going to enjoy your books. You've had how many bestsellers?
I've had quite a few best-selling books. So I sure hope so. I will tell you, yesterday's promise has received, 5-star ratings, just through the roof. Just about the people that have read this book have really been enjoying it. So I believe that this series is going to be something that they will really enjoy.
Yeah, because it's 1 to 1 to 1, so it all goes together. Now, what's a 5-star rating? How do you get that?
Well, 5 is the highest rating
Right.
that you can get, and that's where you can go online and review certain books. And once you do that, they ask you for a rating. You can go to barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, any of them, and review the book, and then they're asked to rate it when they review it.
Now, so can anybody go in there and review it?
Yes.
Well, so why would they want to buy it?
No, these are people reviewing it after they've read it.
Oh, okay.
So they've already bought the book,
Oh,
and then
okay.
they can go online and review it.
And review it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a 5-star. Come on,
Yes.
that's pretty good.
Oh yes, they have been consistently rating that book 5 stars.
So here you have it, 2 books, and there's going to be a third. You want to get the whole collection, and it's called Yesterday's Promise. And I can feel the heart of that woman
Yes.
and what she felt.
Correct.
And then her lover to come and try to take away her place. And then what happens in the end? You got to get the book and read it. And then the next one, this was kind of good because she's a talk show host.
Yes.
Which I am.
Correct.
And so A Love for Tomorrow is another book that you're going to want to get. Do you want to say anything else about them real quick?
About this particular
books.
series is that, it also deals with emotional issues, such as Yesterday's Promise deals with the fact that Melinda actually cannot deal with broken promises, and that is what she receives from her father. So then there's mending that has to occur. And so just different different issues.
Well, we thank you so much for watching, and hopefully go get these 2 books. You will love them, by Vanessa Miller. Bye-bye.
A story of heartbreak, an emotional roller coaster, and the light of forgiveness will come from the pages of Vanessa Miller's newest novel, Love for Tomorrow, available for this buy-the-book offer of $9.99. All looks great for popular Christian talk show host Serenity Miller until her fiancé calls off their wedding. While still devastated by this event, Serenity makes it her destructive mission to bring down pastors in order to prove that they are full of pride. But little does she know that an encounter awaits her that will not only offer her hope, but healing as well. Learn the heart-touching conclusion by ordering today Love for Tomorrow. Simply call 888-725-8033 and request offer number 242B for only $9.99. That's 888-725-8033. Request offer number 242B. Buy the book today. By the Book's Dorothy Spalding opens her heart in her book, We Walk by Faith, Not by Sight, a story that will connect with every reader. As Dorothy shares her real adventure in faith, walking the cross thousands of miles throughout the United States, for 8 years witnessing and challenging people to be bold witnesses for Jesus. Order your copy by calling 888-725-8033 for just $14.95 plus shipping and handling. Ask for offer number 140.